Hey everybody, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and today I'm chatting with Chris about his 2021 Gladiator Sport S. Just to go over your setup for everybody here, you're driving a 2021 Gladiator Sport S with the Max Tow package. For wheels, you're running the Mammoth 8 Steels in black. They are 17x9s with a -6mm offset, making for an aggressive stance. And for tires, you've got the Atturo Trailblade XT multi-terrains. These are 33x11s or 285 70/17s, and your suspension is all stock. What made you choose this setup?
I wanted that more aggressive stance that you talked about, but at the same time, I'm looking for kind of a good blend of the look plus capability. I do pull a camper with the Gladiator as well, so a lift or much bigger tires would affect my towing capacity, so I didn't want to compromise that. I did want specifically black rims because the color of the Jeep is gray color, and I just thought that the black rims would complement that a little bit more than the silver ones that came stock, and so that's why I went that direction, and I'm really happy with it.
So again, you're running the Mammoth 8 Steels in black. They are 17x9s with the -6mm offset, making for that aggressive stance. So I know you said you wanted the black versus silver. What do you like about this wheel? What drew you to it in the first place?
Well, it's just got kind of a classic look. It's not flashy, but it's clean. And I like the look of the Stingray colors, kind of a matte color of gray. And even though these wheels are, I believe the finish is gloss, they're not really sparkly, shiny. It all kind of goes together in my mind. The stock wheels on the Gladiator seem a little smallish. I like the way these fill out that wheel well a little bit. They just have a kind of a more solid look to them.
A lot of people go with like the kind of thicker 5 spokes. What made you pick that, what you have versus something else?
They kind of have a little bit of an old school look to them, with the kind of the circular rather than the spokes, with the sort of the circular holes around the rim. It reminds me of the wheels that I saw on Jeeps and 4-wheel drive trucks when I was a kid. It's a little bit of a nod to kind of just that classic styling.
Judging by the photos and all the measurements and everything, this is what we would consider an aggressive stance because you've got a little bit of poke out from the edges of the fenders.
Yeah, I like kind of the wider look of it when you're looking at it on the front.
Was that something that you were looking for when you chose the width and the offset?
Not specifically. I did want a slightly wider stance. To be honest with you, I really wasn't accounting for how much the wheels were going to extend past the fender flares, because every time I hit a puddle, the whole side of the Jeep is dirty now, which is okay. That's what they're for, but I don't mind it. It wasn't something I was looking for though.
All right, so let's jump over to the tires. Again, for tires, you're running the Atturo Trailblade XT multi-terrains, and sizing for these are 285 70 R17s or 33x11s. What made you choose that size?
When I very first got the truck, I knew I wanted to switch out the wheels and tires. This is my daily driver, and so I didn't want something overly loud, but I also wanted the capabilities so that when I do hit the trails, I don't have to worry about what are my tires going to do. So it seemed like these really kind of fit both of those needs.
Especially as compared to your stock setup. How do these drive? Are they quiet? Are they kind of bumpy? Are they smooth?
Oh, they're smooth. You do hear them. They've got more texture, than a standard like multi-terrain, like what comes on the vehicle stock. So you do hear them if you've got the windows down or if you're riding with the top off or the doors off or something like that. But at the same time, it's not overbearing. And if I'm driving with the windows up and listening to music, they don't bother me at all. And as far as the ride goes, they're smooth. You can tell you've got a bigger tire on it. You can kind of feel that wider stance to a degree. But as far as the bumpiness or anything like that, I didn't notice a huge difference.
Did you find that it affected the handling in any kind of way, either positive or negative?
It wasn't a dramatic change, but I remember just right after I put them on and I just pulled out onto the street to drive around to the other side of my house, you could kind of feel there was a little bit more substance underneath you. You can tell that you're on solid ground when you're on these.
Did you notice any error with the speedometer or odometer?
Nothing significant. I don't think I've seen it be more than 3 off of what the speedometer was saying. It's not enough that I really pay that much attention to it. I might set my cruise just 1 or 2 notches lower. So
then suspension-wise, again, your truck is totally stock. Did you have any fitment issues with the wheels and tires since you're running the stock suspension?
Not at all. Nope, they went right on. I haven't had any rubbing at all. I've had it up on some trails now with this setup and no issues.
Do you have any plans to lifted or change anything else in the future?
With the wheels and tires and suspension, no, I don't. It's set up good enough for what I want to use it for, so I don't anticipate doing anything much past what it is now.
Is there anything outside of like suspension, wheels, and tires that you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, running boards are on the list, and probably down the road, I think definitely some skid plates, at least a trailer hitch skid plate, maybe steel bumper. Maybe I'll get there, but I think probably next on the list are the running boards.
So knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do differently?
No, I'm really happy. In fact, this looks exactly like what I imagined it would be and what I wanted it to be. So I'm happy.
All right, well, Chris, thank you so much for being here with me today and talking about your truck. You're driving a 2021 Gladiator Sport S with the Max Tow package. For wheels, you're running the Mammoth 8 Steels in black. They are 17x9s with a -6mm offset, making for an aggressive stance. And for tires, you've got the Atturo Trailblade XT multi-terrains. These are 33x11s or 285/70/17s, and your suspension is all stock. And thank you all very much for watching, and remember, for all things Gladiator, be sure to keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.